people. Okay, awesome. So before we get started, for everyone that's just joined and is a local officer member, could you please rename yourself to your first name and then your position? That would be awesome. That would help me put you guys in breakout rooms for later. So your first name and then whatever your position is at your school. And if you don't have a position, that's fine. You can just put a position that you're interested in. All right, and I'm going to hand it off to Abby. She's going to take over.
Hi guys, so here's our agenda for tonight. We have a few tasks we would like to cover. First, we're going to introduce your state officer team for this school year. Second, we're going to go over how to create a POW, that stands for a program of work, which will be your goals for this upcoming school year as a chapter. Then we'll go over BAAs and CSAs. If you do not know what those stands for, we will explain that here in a little bit. 4, we will go over what type of leader are you. 5, we'll review our legacy goal as a state officer team and how that applies to you and your chapter. 6, we'll go over Ohio State and local officer remind. So that is to keep our officer team connected with your guys' local chapters. And then lastly, we're going to do breakout rooms by position. So if you're the president, you will be in a breakout room with all the other presidents and Rhea and Nikith. And same thing for each other position in your chapter. Okay, so now we'll introduce our officer team, and I'm going to hand it back over to Rhea.
Thanks, Abby. Hi, for everyone who just joined. My name is Rhea, and I'm the Ohio FBLA president this year. Then we have Kobe Simpson, who's our VP of External Affairs, and unfortunately, he couldn't be here today.
Hey, I'm Jonathan Pacheco. I'm this year's North Region Vice President. And on to Brianna.
My name is Brianna Altmerger, and I am this year's North Region Vice President. Catherine.
My name is Catherine Manwaring, and I'm this year's Southern Region Vice President. Vicki.
My name is Vicki, and I am this year's Vice President of Membership. Abby.
My name is Abby Taylor, and I am this year's Secretary. Aman.
My name is Amandaga, and I am this year's Treasurer. Neil.
My name is Neil, and I'm this year's Webmaster. Nikki.
My name is Nikith Fangala, and I am this year's Parliamentarian. Jesus.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jesus, and I'm this year's Reporter. And finally, I'll hand it over to Shivanshi.
Hi, my name is Shivanshi, and I'm this year's Historian.
Awesome, let's get right into it. Okay, so Jonathan's going to lead us into our icebreaker for today.
Okay, like Rhea said, we're going to do a little icebreaker. So I want you to share your name, your grade, school position, and your favorite thing about FBLA. So I could start off. As I said before, my name is Jonathan. I'm in 11th grade. I go to Thomas W. Harvey High School. And my favorite part of FBLA would probably be the ability to travel to a bunch of places and obviously network with a lot of people. On to Rhea.
Hey guys, my name is Rhea. I'm a senior at William Mason High School. I serve as the president of Ohio FBLA and the National North Central Region Vice President. My favorite thing about FBLA is probably getting to meet new people, like Jonathan said, networking and meeting people from all breadths of life. Kobe's not here, so Katie, do you want to go?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Katie Manwaring, or also known as Catherine. I'm a senior, and I go to Lebanon High School. I'm the Southern Region Vice President, and I have to say that my favorite thing about FBLA, along with meeting everybody, is getting to know more about myself, especially within the business world. Vicki?
Hi, everybody. I'm Vicki Almeida. I go to Turpin High School, and I'm a senior. This year, I'm the Vice President of Membership for Ohio FBLA, and my favorite thing about FBLA is getting to network and find new opportunities for myself and my peers in the business world. And Abby?
Hi, my name is Abby. I'm a junior at Lebanon High School. I'm your secretary for this year, and my favorite thing about FBLA is trying new things like public speaking or developing new leadership skills. I'll pass it on to Nikith.
Hello, my name is Nikhil Mangala. I'm a junior at William Mason High School. I serve as the president at Mason, as well as the Ohio parliamentarian. And my favorite thing about FBLA is getting to compete against other people in different business-related events at SLC. I'll pass it on to Aman.
My name's Aman Daga, and I'm a senior at Solon High School, and I'm the state treasurer. And I would have to say my favorite thing about FBLA is networking with all different kinds of people. And I'll pass it on to Neil.
Hello, my name is Neil Shediger, and I'm a junior at William Mason High School, and I'll be your state webmaster. And I'll have to say that my favorite thing about FBLA is all the new business opportunities it opens up and getting to meet a lot of new people. I'll pass it on to Jesus.
Hello, I'm Jesus Flores, and I'm a sophomore at Thomas W. Harvey High School, and I'm this year's state reporter. And my favorite thing about FBLA has to be the ability to explore different types of aspects and different areas of business that I have never been able to experience before. I'll pass it on to Shivanshi.
Hi, my name is Shivanshi. I'm a junior at Mason High School. I'm the treasurer there, and I'm the state historian. And my favorite thing about FBLA is definitely learning about various fields in business. And then if any one of you guys want to go ahead.
If it's easier, I can just go down like the participants list. So I think we have Alex from Turpin High School. Alex, I think you're unmuted, but I'm not sure if we can hear you. Oh, awesome. Okay. Anjali?
Hi, my name is Anjali, and I'm a senior, and I go to William Mason High School, and I'm the vice president for our chapter. And my favorite thing about FBLA is just meeting all the new people. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Anjali. Brianne? Brennan, sorry. I'm bad at reading. Brennan.
Yeah, I'm Brennan. I'm a junior at Turpin, a secretary, co-secretary. And my favorite thing about FBLA is probably the business opportunities or just meeting other people.
Awesome. Thank you. It's so nice to meet you. Oh, I think Alex was able to join. Yes.
My name is Alex Miguez. I'm a senior. I go to my Turpin High School, and I'm a vice president. And my favorite thing about FBLA is going to the competition and having fun and just meeting new people.
Awesome. Thank you. Connor?
Hi, my name's Connor, and I'm a junior at Turpin, and I'm a co-secretary. My favorite thing about FBLA is probably working with other people and the business opportunities that come with it.
Great. Elizabeth?
Hi, I'm Elizabeth, and I am in 11th grade, and I'm from Thomas W. Harvey High School. I served as vice president last year, but I'm planning on running for president this year. And my favorite thing about FBLA is being able to travel and meet new people.
Wonderful. Lauren?
Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm a senior at Lebanon High School, and I serve as one of our chapter presidents. My favorite thing about FBLA is probably the experiences that I get to have through it that I wouldn't have through any other organization.
Great, thank you. Liam?
My name is Liam. I'm a senior at Turpin High School. I am the reporter, and my favorite part about FBLA is meeting new people and just learning about the business world in general.
Great. Nicole.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm a senior at Salina High School, and my favorite thing about FBLA is learning about the new business opportunities.
Awesome. Prisha?
Hi, my name is Prisha. I'm a sophomore at Dublin Jerome. I'm the president of our chapter, and my favorite thing about FBLA is the opportunities it provides for you to engage in your community and network with other peers.
All right, wonderful. I think that was everyone. If I forgot your name, I apologize. You can go ahead and unmute yourself. I don't think I did, but maybe. Okay, I'm going to take that as a no. All right, Nick, take us away. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to go kind of into how to create a POW, and to outline that, I'm going to show you our POW. So basically a POW is just a program of work, and it's usually like a one-page or two-page document that outlines all of the tasks and objectives that your officer team wants to accomplish, and it kind of keeps you accountable. And if you ever forget throughout the year, like, oh, what can we do now? What can we do to make our chapter engaging? You can just refer to your POW and it'll hopefully spark you some ideas. So Nikit, if you want to click on the POW hyperlink. Okay, so this is kind of the Ohio FBLA State Officer Program of Work. So it might be a little bit more and have a little bit more than what your chapters might have, but this is the basic outline. This should be on our website, so feel free to later when you're talking to your officer team and you decide to create a program of work, go to ours, make a copy, and then just write yours onto there. That'd be great. Okay, so your objective is your big overlining goal type thing, and then you have your various tactics. Usually you have about 2 to 5, I would say, and there are different ways that you want to accomplish that objective. So for example, for ours, our first objective is to improve communication between state officer team and FBLA PBL students. So one of the ways that we hope to do that is by sending out monthly emails to advisors and local chapters about important updates. So these emails will include videos, news resources, newsletters, flyers, any upcoming activities and workshops that we want to offer to our membership in Ohio. So that's kind of like an example of one of the tactics that you could have on your program of work. But obviously, like, we have so many different things, and they relate to different positions on our state officer team. So if you want one about collecting $50,000, not 50,000, that's a bit much, but like 500 or maybe even $1,000, your treasurer could be responsible for that. So you can kind of divide it up by position and how you want. All right, Nikki, could you go back to the slides, please? Thank you so much. Okay, so I kind of outlined 4 broad goals that you can have, and the broad goals, what I'm referring to is the objectives. So our first objective related to how we're going to increase membership recruitment and retention. And we have other goals such as fundraising, developing partnerships with corporations, so like guest speakers, internships, and there are so many different things that we have outlined on our program of work that kind of help us accomplish those goals. And then we have communication, social media. So for you guys, I thought of one that would be like creating a chapter Instagram, posting on there, or one of ours was increasing our following on Instagram by like 70% or something like that. It was close to that. And so you guys could be like, okay, we would like to have 500 followers on Instagram by the end of the school year. That's a little ambitious, but if that's what you want to do, then I'm rooting for you. So if you want to, if you're a chapter president, vice president, or secretary, if you'd like to take a picture of this slide or write it down, feel free to. This might help you when you're creating your program of work. So I put an example of a tactic that you could have on your program of work, so increasing membership by 25%. So adding those numerical values will definitely help you, because you know you've reach that goal when you've reached that number. So it's a little bit easier for you guys to track your progress. So for example, on ours, we had monthly updates. So we make sure to send an email out to advisors or chapter presidents every single month. So we know we're accomplishing that when we send it out. And then for our followers, increase our followers by 70%. So we know we got to reach that goal, that numerical value. So that will definitely help if you add some sort of value that you know that you've reached your goal by. That's a little bit about POWs. I know chapter presidents, we have that on our breakout session agendas. We're going to go a little bit into depth about that to answer some of the questions. But if you do have any questions that you think of right now or throughout the rest of our presentations, feel free to drop it in the chat. We'll definitely have an opportunity to answer every single question. Okay, and with that, let's move on to BAAs and CSAs. Katie, all you.
Okay, so the BAA and CSA, as I will further explain in the next slide, are known as the Business Achievement Award and Community Service Award. The FBLA Business Achievement Award has 4 levels: Future, Business, Leader, and America. Each level has a set of tasks and projects to complete to show your development as a leader. The co-curricular activities are aligned to certain career clusters, NBEA standards, and FBLA goals. The FBLA Community Service Awards recognizes FBLA members for their extraordinary commitment to community service. It has 3 levels of recognition based on the cumulative number of hours a member contributes to community service. Community, which is the first one, is 50 hours. Service is 200 hours, and achievement is 500 hours. CSAs are cumulative and build throughout an FBLA member's career. To begin a BAA or CSA, your advisor has to follow the guide on the FBLA national website to register you. Then, once they have completed that, you can begin by logging into the student portal, which is also found on that website. You will need your chapter number and your personal FBLA membership number that you can get from your advisor in order to properly sign in. After that, you will select and work on your activities and then upload those activities into the program. The final step is to inform your advisor that you have completed them, and you will receive those awards. And I will pass this to Abby to explain further.
Thanks, Katie. Okay, so here's a quote by Tani Matichetti. For those of you who don't know Tani, she was our FBLA state president for Ohio last school year. So this is a quote by Tani. She said, "I started my BAAs late because my chapter was not involved with them, but I did Future, Business, and Leader last year. Learned a lot about FBLA and got the chance to practice some skills. I would recommend every student to complete these awards. It's also really cool to show off your pins at conference." So a few more details about these cool things that you have an opportunity to do as an FBLA member. They are great to encourage your chapter to do because there are awards that your chapter members can receive at SLC. That's something they can look forward to at the end of the year. Some of the activities may include taking a picture of presenting a presentation to a few people. That's an activity you can check off the list and add towards one of the marks such as Future or Business. That's just an example. So we'll go over these. If you have questions in small group, feel free to ask at the end, but that's just a good overview about your BAAs and CSAs.
So the next thing we're going to do is something called a colors activity. And basically this activity just kind of asks you a few questions, and based off your answers to those questions, it determines what kind of leader you are. So Ria will be sending a link in the chat, and you guys can take about like 5-6 minutes. It shouldn't take you too much longer than that to fill out the questions and keep track of your answers. And at the end of the document, it'll ask you to record what you got for each question. And after you add up, like say you got like 5 A's, after you add up all of those, you'll be able to match your answers with a specific color. So all you need to do is basically just find out what your main color is, which color had the most in like the next 5 or 6 minutes, and then we'll get back to you guys.
Yeah, so we'll give you until 7:32, 7:32 or 7:33 to fill that out. If you have a Google account, you can click File and make a copy and just write onto there. And Ohio FBLA state officers, if you would like to do this too, that'd be awesome.
All right, so hopefully that was enough time for you guys to fill out the survey. And so at the bottom of the document, it tells you like if you answered A, I believe that um, corresponded with orange. If you answered mostly B's, that was green. Mostly C's was blue, and mostly D's was gold. So I'm going to go through the colors and what each one means. So just keep your color in mind as I'm going through them all. So the first one is blue. So this would be if majority of your questions were answered with C. So someone who is a blue is considered to be enthusiastic, sympathetic, warm, compassionate. You can read all of them on the left. And they're the type of person that always wants to be the role model of the group and want to interact and motivate with other people. They're someone who's definitely a people person and needs to be around other people for the group to work well. They're not the type of person to sit down and try and do the entire assignment by themselves because that's just not who they are. So this is definitely important in a group because the leader has to be able to work effectively with others. If they just try and do everything by themselves, there's a pretty good chance that something gets messed up along the way. So having a blue in a group is super important because you need someone that can hold the group together and help everyone communicate. Next, we have greens. So greens are considered to be analytical, global, conceptual, cool, calm, and collected. Basically, these guys are your logical problem solvers. So in a group, they're the independent thinker and the ones who just like to sit down and just start the problem as soon as they see it. So they like the challenge. They like being faced with new obstacles and trying to find ways to solve them, and they like to develop models and exploring ideas. Obviously, this is important in a group because you need someone who is willing to take on every obstacle and not back down. Because if you're faced with a hard challenge and everyone else wants to back down, having that one person that motivates the rest is a huge, huge factor. Next, we have the golds. So golds are loyal, dependable, prepared, faithful, organized, concerning, caring. They're basically the most stable person in the group. They kind of make sure that everyone's doing their own thing and everyone's working together. Although they like to have fun while they do it, they know that work comes before play, and so they have to put in the time and effort to get the task done. They're usually the person that can kind of set out a plan for the rest of the group, kind of delegating the roles and making sure everyone's doing the right thing at the right time. So obviously this is necessary in a group because if you go into something without a plan, again, there's a huge chance that something goes wrong. So having at least one gold and someone that can, set aside a plan or even like a program of work, that was just one big plan for our year. So having someone who's able to set these things aside and work on those, huge part of the group. And last but not least, we have our oranges. So oranges are the people that are witty, charming, super spontaneous, bold, and courageous. They're the most outgoing person in the group. The person that wants to go out and try something and would be okay with failing it because it means they got to try it themselves instead of having someone tell them what to do. There's someone who's just always natural, always act how they are as a person. They're the person that you need in a group because they're the ones who will tell everyone else that this won't work. They're not afraid to hide behind any barriers. They'll go out, do it, say it as they see it. So all four colors in a group are necessary. You can't have too much of one and none of the other because then they'll end up overpowering another one. So I know a lot of you guys' like full officer teams aren't here. So this is something you can try just within your own chapter or even your own officer team, just to see, how is everyone? Is everyone the same? Do we have a lot of different people? Because obviously all four of these are important, and having a variety would be the best thing you could have for your own officer team.
Okay, now we'll pass it on to Shivanshi. Thank you, Nikith.
Hi, so now we're going to talk about the service products. Next slide, please.
Okay,
right.
So for FBLA State Officer Legacy Gold, we award 2 types of awards at the SOC. The first type of award is for the most community service hours. Our second type of award is for the most creative video and impact of their services. I would send it back to Shivanshi to go more into detail on how to acquire these awards.
So ways you can involve your own chapter in this initiative is to make a list of places your chapter can volunteer for and give them those kinds of resources. You can designate one member or officer to take pictures and videos of the service performed so you can keep a record of all the activities you're doing. You can designate one member or officer to keep track of the total hours accumulated by your chapter, again, to help you work towards those awards. And through this, your chapter can be awarded by gift cards and other awards.
In an effort to communicate with all local chapter leaders, we are starting a new thing called Remind to let us communicate directly with local chapter leaders. So it would be nice if you guys would scan this QR code in order to join our Remind to get updates, or you can send the text at Ohio FB to 81010. Make sure you put the @ symbol in the text message. Or you can just scan this QR code and it'll basically do the same thing. Thank you.
So if you guys all want to take a minute and join our Remind, that'd be awesome. And then I think at the end, I'm going to send out some sort of like Google form or something where we can get all your numbers. Because if you are a local chapter officer, typically we make a group chat with all of the officers and the Ohio FBLA state officers. So we can like communicate, pass along updates. It's a lot quicker than sending emails, or we'll do that through Remind this year. Okay, so this is just a quick like resources slide. So presidents and vice presidents, if you would like to take a picture of this, it might be helpful to you, or if you already have our emails, Eric's email, he is our state director. So if you have any questions about how to join it, how to start a new chapter or anything, you can contact him about that. He'll have the most amount of information, or you can reach out to me. My email is listed over there, or it's president@ohiofbla.com, and you can reach me through there. And then we have our Ohio FBLA website that has a lot of great resources. I recommend if you're looking for something, start there and then email us, because chances are you'll find it on there first. And then we do send out monthly emails. They're sent by our VP of External Affairs, Kobe Simpson. They're usually sent to your advisors, and then you guys are also copied on there as well. Okay, so perfect timing actually. It is 7:40. I'm gonna put you guys into breakout rooms based on how you had named yourselves. I think I only have one person who hasn't named themselves, but I can figure that out. I'm gonna send you to your breakout rooms. They're by position, so president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, and then other officers. They're gonna have a couple of activities and more role-specific instructions for you guys that will hopefully help you throughout the year. So it was nice getting to know all of you. Oh, awesome. Thank you, the VP. It was nice getting to know all of you. And I hope that you get to know the officers in your breakout room a little bit more. All right, so I'll send you guys there. Sorry, just a minute. Hey guys. All right, Nikki, thanks for sharing your screen. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So my name is Ria.
And I'm Nikith, and we'll be doing the training session for you guys just for the presidents today.
Yep.
So the first thing we're going to do is just a brief icebreaker to get to know you guys a little better. Just, name, school, usual. And then why did you guys want to serve as your local chapter president, or like what drew you to run for this position?
Okay, so I can start. My name is Ria. I'm the Ohio FBLA president. I think that I wanted to serve as the Ohio FBLA on the officer team is because I loved networking with people, getting to know the membership. You know, I felt like in my chapter, I only knew my members, so I wanted to branch out and learn more. And I've heard that Eric was a great advisor, and so I really wanted to work with him, network, get to know a little bit more logistical things about FBLA.
I can go next. So I'm Nikith Mangala. I'm the Ohio parliamentarian, but I'm also the Mason president. So I wanted to run specifically for the Mason position because last year I also served on the officer team. I was a secretary, and it was super fun getting to, be behind the scenes of all the meetings and, knowing all the work that got put into it. So I really want to take an even bigger role in that this year and be president so I could, help other people and continue to have that role within my chapter. You guys can just unmute and go in whatever order you'd like.
I guess I'll go. I'm Elizabeth Keller. I'm from Thomas W. Harvey High School, and I want to run for president of my chapter so that, like you said, so you can help more people within your chapter, because I feel that within like my 3 years now of being in FBLA, I've gained some experience not being in that role, and now I can feel like I can better help people with the experience that I've been having just based off of what I know as like a regular member.
Yeah, for
My
sure.
name is Prisha. Sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I go to Dublin Jerome, and this is my school's first year of having FBLA. So I guess the reason that I wanted to start an FBLA chapter at my school was kind of just because I thought it presented a lot of great opportunities and a lot of learning experiences for students.
That's great. That's impressive. You're starting your own chapter. Good luck. I hope that goes really well. If you get a lot of members this year.
And if you need any help, feel free to reach out to us. We'd be happy to help you. Is that everyone? Sorry.
Lauren hasn't gone yet.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. So I'm Lauren. I go to Lebanon. I guess I wanted to run for president because I don't know, I felt like it was the best position for me to help move my chapter forward because there were a lot of improvements I thought we could make, and being president was the best way to get those accomplished.
Awesome. Nikki, Jonathan needs something. I'll be right back.
All right.
Awesome. So we can go ahead and continue.
Rhea, how do we record?
Becky, I think, knows how.
Yeah, I got it.
Awesome.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and continue on. We have introduced ourselves.
Final questions you guys have. So it won't be too long, but just a few things we thought was pretty crucial for you guys in the position that you're in right now. So yeah, we already introduced ourselves. I'm the state parliamentarian and William Mason president.
And I'm the Ohio FPO president. Probably heard that so many times now. Okay, so I'm just gonna go over some chapter president responsibilities. Not a lot of people know, honestly, like what to do kind of as a president, like what all they're supposed to accomplish and the power they're supposed to kind of have over the other officers. So I'm gonna kind of go into a little depth about that from what I know in my experience. Okay, so the first thing is creating meeting agendas. So when you do meet with your local officer team, or when you have your meetings with the rest of your chapter members, you're usually the person who creates the agenda. So everything from, okay, we need to make sure everyone's turned in their forms, everyone has a competitive event, everyone knows how to register for the objective tests and stuff. So you're creating everything and you're making sure like, okay, we need to hit all of this stuff during our meeting to make it the most productive. So you're the one putting that all together. So secondly, you're communicating with your advisors. Honestly, I would recommend keeping a clear communication, probably weekly or bi-weekly, just updating them kind of on what you're working on, if there's any resources they can provide you. Maybe if you're like, oh, I don't know what to do for this meeting, they probably have some ideas, probably just shoot them an email and they can figure out some things and help you out too. The third thing is delegating work to other members and officers. So this means, okay, this month we've got to get this much money. We've got to really get on the fundraising. And then giving that work to, okay, the treasurer and the reporter are going to kind of work on this, and this person and this person is going to kind of put the flyers together and get the word out on our website or our Instagram. So kind of making sure that everyone has a job and everyone feels like they're contributing to the project that you're working on. And it even sometimes it means stepping out of your comfort zone, kind of not being bossy, but like delegating the work in a nice manner, like, okay, like, can you get this done by this date? And kind of setting those hard and fast deadlines so everyone's on the same page and you guys accomplish your program of work. The fourth thing is presenting new information from state and national officers to your local chapter. So this would mean if you hear something new about BAAs or CSAs, or a new workshop or a regional webinar that's actually coming up, you're passing that information on to your chapter and your members and the rest of your local officer team, kind of keeping them in the loop with what's going on the higher levels, like the state level and the national level, and passing that information along as best as you can. So that's kind of like a rough outline. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to answer that. All right, Nick, it's all you.
So the next thing is going to be leading chapter meetings. So obviously, once you make those agendas, once you get everyone on the Zoom call or in person, depending on what your school is doing, the next thing is obviously leading the meeting. So the three main things that we thought were important for leading meetings are having like a set presentation. Every time doesn't have to be the same Google Slides, but one, it gives you something to go off of. It gives your audience something to look at. It just helps keep everyone a little bit organized. And if you're just standing up and talking or just talking with nothing for the audience to look at. The next thing is having a speaking voice. On the state officer team, we often talk about like our officer voice. And basically it just means, you have to step up and be loud and have people listen to you, because if you're super quiet, if you're not really like super outgoing, they're not going to listen to you. So, you got to do whatever you can to make them listen to you. And, especially if you're online, you got to fight through technical issues. They're going to happen. You can't just hope they won't, because I can assure you they will. So just being able to, be like, all right, it happened. How can we just keep going and keep moving forward? That's a huge, huge thing. And finally, just be a leader. You have to speak up, speak out. You're in this position because you guys are passionate about FBLA, and you guys are the face of your chapters. So really emphasize that and prove that to your chapter that you really want to be there.
Yeah, I think you summed that up and said that really well. So here are I'm going to just go over a little bit about meeting agendas. So meeting agendas are basically like what you're going to go through during that meeting. And Nick, if you want to click on the example from the state officer team. Also, hold on. I need to turn the camera off, or the timer off of this breakout session, but I have no idea how to do that. Whatever. We'll get to it when we get to it. It's fine. Okay, so here's an example of a meeting agenda from the state officer team. So we have Abby who does the roll call. We follow parliamentary procedures, so approving meeting minutes and stuff like that. So we have someone who does roll call, and then we go over, okay, here's everything we're going to talk about. Usually I send over a list to Abby, who's our secretary, and then she creates the meeting agenda for me, but I make sure that we hit everything during our meetings so everyone is leaving with the same amount of information. Yeah, so your meeting agenda, obviously it's pretty self-explanatory, everything you want to get done. I usually have links and stuff on my meeting agendas. So if everyone's on one document, I'm like, okay, click this, go to slide 5. Everyone knows where we're at, and it's easy to follow. I think it's really important to be as detailed as possible, because sometimes people miss meetings and they miss your presentations and stuff. So it's easy for them, if you're very detailed, of where to click, what to look at, what they need to do, what's the important information. And yeah, and if you have super detailed notes, that would be great.
So the next thing about leading meetings is just making sure you have like an idea. Because I know, like, especially at the start of the year right now, when you're not really prepping for any events for SLC, it's kind of hard to come up with meeting ideas. So here's just like a bunch of different ideas that, you guys can talk to with your chapter, with your other officers, to see if your chapter would be interested. So obviously, again, beginning of the year, you don't really know a lot of the people, especially if you got a lot of new people in your chapter. So just icebreakers, just something super casual, get to know people. it could look a lot of different ways. Maybe it doesn't have to be icebreakers, but just an activity you guys do as an entire chapter, like a whole chapter event, like at the bottom of the slide there. That could definitely be something that you do. And then again, talk about BAs and CSAs, because obviously, like if anyone's interested or a few people are interested, it's great to get that information out there to everyone. And then, as we get closer to SLC, picking us, there's a lot of different ways to go there. Community service projects, obviously that's a huge thing that we're kind of pushing this year with the CSAs. So you could have whole chapter events where you guys talk about the service projects you guys planning on doing. And something that we do at Mason, I'm not sure if a lot of other chapters do this, but we have speakers come in and just local business leaders from around our area that just come in and talk about what they do on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes it's a presentation, sometimes it's just like a roundtable discussion. And it's a really great time to, learn about some of the struggles they faced, how they overcame them, some skills they think is like necessary. It's a great way to, interact with your community and get everyone together on one platform talking to the one person. So these are just a few ideas, but obviously there's tons and tons and tons more. So basically just keep coming up with ideas. Even if you don't have a meeting coming up, if you can come up with an idea for a future meeting, that could go a long way and help you guys get set up. And again, you can make an agenda for that meeting too, just to help you stay organized. And so the last thing about meetings is just keeping your members engaged. So the one thing that always will drive people or attract people is if you are like super personal about FBLA. If you have your own testimonial, your own things about, what you enjoy about FBLA, right? So having your own testimonials, having your own personal touch. So say you're talking about BAs and CSAs, maybe say that you're going to do it. And maybe that'll help convince some of your other chapter members to do it. If they see, oh, hey, my chapter president is doing this, maybe I should do what they're doing. Because again, they're going to follow you. You're the leader of your chapter. Giveaways on social media, that's just an easy way to get people to interact and engage with what you're posting. And again, with like what I was talking about with icebreakers, make sure you get to know everyone. Depending on how big your school is, you could have a lot of people or not a lot. But even if you don't have that many, you can get really close with everyone in your chapter, because obviously you guys have a lot of the same interests if you're both in FBLA. So it's a great way for you guys to meet new people, like we all said at the beginning. So you guys can, get those connections with other people, because maybe they have ideas for meetings that you haven't thought of. And sending out posts, reminders, activities, anything you can, just keep that communication line open. I know for my chapter this year, we're going to be making a huge group meet with everyone, because I think that's the most effective way to reach people. People aren't going to check their emails or check, Schoology is what we use for like all of our clubs and classes and everything. So I don't think a lot of people are going to be checking that as much. They'll check their phone if I make a group meet. So that's why I want to use that. If there's another platform you guys think works better for your chapter, like Remind, like what we're doing with the state level, maybe that's something you guys could do. So just coming up with those different ideas, stuff that you guys can do, because you have to keep your members engaged. Because if they stop showing up to meetings, don't come to any events or projects, it's hard to bring them back. So right off the beginning, if you can keep them engaged, that's one of your biggest goals.
Okay, wait, I don't know what the deal is with this breakout room thing. I think we're all going to get kicked out in a minute. It's just annoying. Okay, are we all here? Yes, okay, awesome. All right, so working with other officers, Nikith, if you want to go to the next slide. Yeah, so this is honestly just stuff that you already know, and I feel like when you hear it again, maybe it just soaks in a little bit more. So you're the leader, you're the president of your chapter. Don't be afraid to use your voice, speak up. If people aren't doing work, honestly, call them out. I do it all the time. All the officers know. I hold everyone accountable for their work. And I think also creating that communication between your officers. So we have a group meet between all of the state officers, and I send out updates pretty much every Sunday night about our Monday meetings. I sent out an update before our training session today. I was like, hey, can't wait to see everyone. Please be on at this time. So I try to keep a clear communication with all my officers, just so that they also feel comfortable reaching out to me if they have any questions or concerns about anything at all. And yeah, make sure everyone is involved. Sometimes you have those people in your groups, and I know everyone can relate to me. Even if it's in a school project that person's like shy, they don't really want to speak out as much. And feel free to kind of be like, hey, like, would you like to take on this project? Would you like to do this? Delegating work to also those like shyer people that might not reach out to you and might not ask for that work by themselves. But also that comes with a balance. Try not to be kind of like bossy, because you're all officers. And so whether you're a president, a vice president, it's important that everyone feels like they are an officer and they are leading the group. And honestly, you guys are all high school students just working together, trying to get the best experience out of this. So take lead, but make it fun for all of the other officers too, is my advice. Okay, so, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, the next thing is just communicating with your advisors. So obviously you guys are the elected presidents and this is your club, but everything you guys do wouldn't be possible without your advisors. And that's something just, keep in mind when you're trying to get stuff done. So, talk to them. Like if you're in person at school and you pass by the room, stop in and say hi. It's just a little gestures like that go a long way because they put in a lot of time and effort for you guys to be able to lead your clubs and do what you want to do. So, make sure you have the open line of communication. Email them, talk to them in person, keep asking them new updates, new information. And as long as you have that open line of communication, if there's any problems, they can get resolved super fast. Whereas if they don't really know who you are as president until like November, and there's people that are trying to email them to join, but they don't know how to, problems can build up really, really fast. So the more you get to know your advisor, the easier it is for you guys to communicate, the better it'll be for both of you.
Yeah, I agree completely. So our next slide is just resources, and then just skip past that. And yeah, thank you for coming. If you have any questions specific to your position, or you want to start a new chapter, you need any help, feel free to reach out to us. All right, and with that, I'm going to close the room so we all go back to the main session. Hello, everyone. I think everyone can hear me, yes? Okay. Thank you guys for coming today. I know it's a Sunday night and you took time out of your day. You guys are probably still all finishing up homework and getting ready for the week. But the entire state officer team is really happy that you've come here today to spend a little time with us, learn more about your responsibilities and roles. And I hope those breakout sessions went into a little bit more depth about your roles and the state officers answered all of your questions. Feel free to drop any questions, honestly, in the chat if you still are kind of confused on anything. So I don't have too many updates from the national team about what the year is going to look like in NLC and even our state officer team's SLC. But I do know that we are planning a in-person and an online NLC. So we're kind of like planning for both. And honestly, with the situation of COVID, we don't know what it's going to look like, but we're hoping for an in-person NLC by next year in Anaheim, California. So if you do want to pass that information on to your local office or local officers and your local team, feel free to do that. But anyways, thank you guys. Feel free to head out now. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can email any of us. Bye, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for coming.
Okay. Are they?
Is that everyone?